This is the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, your number one source of information, education, and entertainment. For honest, responsible, and dependable information, we stand supreme. To stay focused, inspired, and relaxed, choose green. Ekabo, and welcome to the Ifagbemiro Show. And I would open with the following oriki. Open ifun olorun, iba ila olorun, iba iwo olorun, iba ariwa, iba gusu, iba oba igbali, iba orun oke, iba baba, iba yeye, iba atiwo orun, iba she igungun kiki igungun, iba she ori, ori inu, ipori atiwo orun, ofi opa otututu kaan lesakana arona, ashe, ashe, ashe. And for today's show, we are going to do the final lesson on Ori, after which we're going to move on to another subject in the basics of Ifa. All right, so I'm going to do some final reading from the document called the Yoruba Metaphysical Concept of Ori. Orunmila's involvement in the Ori complex cannot be overstressed. One of his praise names is Atorieni Tiko Sunwonshe, one who reforms bad heads. In the Odu Ogbe Ogunda, Ifa says there were 7 duties one had to perform before he left Orun for Aye or Ile. The first one was divination. The second one was the performance of Ebo. The third was the job distribution and the giving of Eawo or taboos. The fourth was digging the pit of loss. And the fifth was removing the rag of poverty. The sixth was wishes. And the seventh was the choice of Ori. According to the Ifa verse, these duties takes place at 4 different locations, perhaps relating to the 4 parts of the Open Ifa. These duties together comprise Ipi, or destiny. However, we forget our destiny on the way out of the birth canal. This makes it extremely difficult to complete our destiny. However, Orunmila, as Ileri Ipi, which is witness of destiny, through Ifa can help us make the necessary corrections in our lives to get back on path. In addition, as we are making our way from Orun to Ile, the Ajogun try to take things from within our Ori. In Ogbe Ogunda, Ifa says, only Afuape made the Ebo requested. He consequently had Ire Bogbo, which means all good fortune. The others lamented. They said, if they had known where Afuape had gone to choose his Ori, they would have gone there to choose theirs. Afuape answered, that even if they had chosen their Oris in the same place, their fate would still have differed. All right. Only Ifawapi had shown good character by respecting his elders and doing his ebo. He brought the potential blessings within his destiny to fruition. His friends, Orisiku and Ori Elamere, had failed in showing good character, in refusing to make ebo, and because of that, their destinies were altered. The most important influence one's destiny is one's character and personal ethics. Iwa, Iwa Pele, or Iwa Rere, which is good or gentle character. That's why the Yoruba said the strongest medicine against curses and spells is Iwa Pele. It is through adhering to the ethical standards of Orunmila that we could achieve spiritual growth. These ethics are embodied in two concepts: Iwa Pele, which is the good or gentle character, and Oritutu, which is cool headedness or wisdom. It is through the development of these two attributes, improvements at the personal, social level, that we can improve at the spiritual level, which, according to the Yoruba, will elevate our collective ancestors and our entire lineage or igun. So here we come to the end of the philosophical movement from the metaphysical meaning descending into the aesthetics and then epistemological through to the ethical meanings and eventually the positive and negative social effects, which affects the metaphysical in unifying cycles. The ethics of Iwa Pele: if your life is a mess, before blaming witchcraft, family, or co workers, examine your nature, your character. If you are selfish, if you are arrogant, if you are disrespectful, no amount of ebo will fix your problem. If you give happiness and share your possessions, if you are humble and thoughtful, you shall receive Enia, the chosen ones, to bring good into the world. This is the social effect which brings us full circle back to the metaphysics of Ori. Ifa Abwei, may Ifa bless and be with you. All right, so for the viewers who have been following these lessons on Ori, unfortunately, today is going to be the last day of the lesson from this particular book. Hopefully, the lessons were able to demystify what or who the Ori is, how it functions, how it's made up, how it affects our lives and our destinies. Now, surely we are going to study other lessons of other things that are very important that forms part of the basic concept of Ifa Orisa. All right. So basically that is it for that lesson. So what I want to do is maybe I'm going to speak a little bit about some classes that are available, things that we do at the classes, I also would speak a little bit about some of the virtual classes that are available where you would have an opportunity to learn various things. None of the classes that we offer is at any cost. This network is committed to education, information, and entertainment. So basically, what we do is we offer a free service. We are not commercially sponsored, hence, basically, we are very free to discuss most things of your choosing. So, what I would also like to recommend is for those people who follow the streams that you always put questions in the notification box. And what I would do is, as soon as I can, I would attempt to address any questions, concerns, or interests that persons may have. Now, of course, because I am a member of the Ifa Orisa community, I encourage persons who are not members of the community and who are interested to try to find a shrine near you. If you are unable to do so and need the necessary information, feel free to contact myself or any person who is on the network that would be able to reach out and provide you with the suitable contact information. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a schedule of activities. We have an organization called the African Indigenous Tradition Community. Basically, this is a study group and a teaching community where we discuss and study many different things that we believe our community needs to know as far as our tradition is concerned. Because many of the great knowledge that our ancestors had, we have lost over a period of time for several reasons. All right. Now, to list the virtual activities on a Sunday, we have the traditional herbal health show at 5 p.m. On a Wednesday, we have the Ifa Orisa basics on the Ifagbemiro Show, which is what we are experiencing right now. This show is at 5 to 5:30, and sometimes it's 5:30 to 6 o'clock. All right. We have astrology classes also on a Wednesday. This is a virtual class. You have to register. You have to send the suitable fees for your material. The class is free. All the astrology classes are free. All levels are free. The only thing you're required to do is send the money, and we would send you the necessary material you need so you can study with us while we do the classes. On a Friday at 5 p.m., we have a virtual etymology class where we teach you the fundamentals of English. We teach you how most of the letters of the alphabet were formed, where they came from, how words are used, how they were composed, and we give you the full history and we give you a lot of developmental practice on basic English language. All right. On a Friday at 6:30 p.m., we have the Ifa Orisa community discussion. All right. Now, the African Indigenous Traditional Community meets every Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the Barataria Community Center. All right. And on the flyer, the theme that we use one of the verses of A.G. Ogbe, which says, "Let us not engage the world hurriedly. Let us not grasp at the rope of wealth impatiently. That which should be treated with mature judgment, let us not deal with in a state of uncontrolled passion. When we arrive at a cool place, let us rest fully. Let us give continuous attention to the future. Let us give deep consideration to the consequences of things. And that is a quotation from A.G. Ogbe. All right. Now, in terms of persons wanting to learn more, I've mentioned classes. I've also mentioned virtual classes. But I would now tell viewers where they could actually log in on social media to be able to view this video as well as many other videos for the various programs that we have. We have the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network that is responsible for most of these productions. And as I've said previously, we are not commercial sponsored. It is a private network that has been set up to inform, educate, and entertain members of our community. All right, we are a community based group or organization. What we do is we try to highlight information concerning the tradition and the culture. And what particularly we try to cater for is for persons who do not have access to shrines and ilays, and also for persons who are living abroad of Caribbean as well as of African heritage. All right. So you can log on to the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network where you can view streams of various programs. You may see some live interviews, as well as you may see video footage of various events on the network. You can log into the Ifa Orisa tradition discussion, the Ifagbemiro home of Ifa Orisa tradition, the Ifa Orisa tradition teaching group, the Ifa Orisa Institute of Sacred and Divine Science, the Ifa Orisa Community Congress, Ianti's Diaspora Venture, and on YouTube, you can log on to or you can view the Ifagbemiro home of Ifa tradition. On the YouTube channel, we have quite a variety of videos that can be viewed. Videos from the year 2020 coming into 2021. So it's quite a collection of information. We start, for example, with unity. That's one of the main topics that you would view videos on there for. You would also view videos on issues such as the Trinidad Isheshe. And by Trinidad Isheshe, what I mean is the history of the practice of Ifa Orisa, as well as all Orisha practices in Trinidad and Tobago. Some of the history given particularly deals with issues such as the Shango Baptist, so that persons who are practicing African tradition would become familiar with the history as to how the African element of our culture and heritage was sustained and preserved in Trinidad as well as Tobago. All right, we also have videos there on education. We have videos there on quite a variety of subjects. Economics. We have lectures on community discussions. We have lectures on health. All right, so I will encourage persons who follow the stream to view all these various subjects on the Ifagbemiro home of Ifa Orisa tradition. All right, again, this is on YouTube. All right, and to close off now, I want to talk a little bit about a couple of topics that has been coming up, and it's very important for the members of the community to understand. The new year that just passed, where there were readings done in Ikiti and also in Ile-Ife. All right, these annual readings are done for the worldwide Ifa Orisa community. When these odus are casted, the purpose of it is to guide members of the community as to what they should expect for the coming year, which would run concurrently from 2022 June to 2023 June. All right. It forms a guidance and it also is a forecast for what we should look for. It is a guide that tells us what we need to do in order to have success and in order to remove any obstruction, blockages, or difficulties that we anticipate. All right. Together with that, also in some cases come taboos. All right. So I will encourage all the members of the community, whatever platform we've provided information on these odus that has been casted for the year, we would suggest you try to go and view the various portions of information that has been provided. If you are a member of a shrine or even a head of a shrine, we would also suggest that you look at the information and probably discuss it, and if possible, even do the suitable ebos for the member of your shrine or organization. All right. And that's basically one of the things I wanted to speak on. All right. On the issue of Ori, which we've completed today, it is very important for all members of the community to familiarize themselves with the concept of Ori, as your Ori is your witness throughout this life and all other existences. All right, your Ori is what connects you to the will of Olodumare for your life. Your Ori is also what connects you to your destiny. So this is a very, very important lesson, and it is something that every devotee should be familiar with. All right. What I did not get into in those lessons is rituals associated to the appeasement of the Ori. All right. This is a specialized type of knowledge, and it is not the type of knowledge that everyone has or should have, depending on the situation. Right. But I would encourage members of our community to try to somehow connect themselves, whether it's through your shrine head or through your Baba Ifa, to try to familiarize yourself with those processes as they are necessary for one's elevation. All right, within the framework of the tradition, and also, again, for the fulfillment of one's destiny. One wants to be able to make proper decision and choices based on the guidance that one receives from one Ori. So, because of this, it is very important that we maintain some level of alignment. All right. Um, so that to me is the importance of Ori. All right. During the Ori lesson, one of the things that came up in the lessons was the story of creation. This too is also another important aspect of the tradition that I think is very important for people to understand. All right. I think during the lessons, what I did is I made some comparisons to Orun and heaven. But I want to emphasize, even though these comparisons were made, Orun is not heaven, right? The comparison was made just for purposes of simplicity. It is in reality what's called a oversimplification, all right? And that oversimplification was simply done so that people could somehow find something they can relate to link to improve their ability to grasp a principle or concept. All right. Later on, when I present maybe deeper lessons in the demystification of Ifa Orisa, I would go into some details as to what is Orun. Now, for persons who might be curious to find out more about the basics of Ifa, I have older videos where I go into tremendous details on that topic. All right? Again, please take the time off to peruse all the various videos that are on YouTube on the Ifagbemiro home of Ifa Orisa tradition. With this, I would like to close off today's show, and I would like to thank you all for viewing. I would like to remind all on the stream to like, to share, as well as to subscribe. At the end of any video you view, another video would come up. I would also encourage you to look at those videos so that you can learn the basics of Ifa and all of the things that may have confused you, that you may have heard from persons who are not a part of the tradition. I try to simplify and demystify on these programs for your comprehension. All right, and I would like to say Odabo and see you next week.